How the US plans the 4-week war attack strategy against Iran. This is week 1. The operation begins with US Navy destroyers firing Tomahawk cruise missiles from hundreds of miles out, designed to completely blind and crush the enemy's anti-air defenses. This is week 2. The objective shifts to destroying the entire Iranian naval fleet. But it's not that easy, as the Iranian Navy fought back, launching surface-to-air and anti-ship missiles at our fighter jets. Here comes week 3. With the skies contested but clearing, the US brings in the heavy hitters. B-2 stealth bombers drop in to eliminate high-value targets hidden deep in underground bunkers. While week 4, the campaign wraps up with a targeted sweep. Advanced stealth fighters, the F-22 Raptors and F-35s, are sent in to hunt down and destroy any remaining ballistic missiles before they can be launched. This is how the first week went. The strategy was twofold. First, leadership decapitation. In the opening hours, precision strikes specifically targeted the highest echelons of the Iranian government, successfully striking the compound of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and severely disrupting the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps' chain of command. In the first week, the US military brought out its heavy hitters. Tomahawk land attack missiles were fired from Navy warships heavily built up in the region. Hundreds of Tomahawks were used to blind Iranian radar and destroy heavily fortified infrastructure from a safe standoff distance. Simultaneously, the US deploys the EA-18G Growler. These specialized jets don't drop bombs. Instead, they'd fire concentrated electronic warfare signals that jam Iran's Russian-made S-300 and indigenous Bavar 373 air defense systems. The enemy radar screens literally go blank. This paves the way for 5th-generation aircraft, including F-35 stealth jets and F-22 Raptors, were utilized to slip past early warning systems and clear the skies, paving the way for 4th-generation fighters like the F-15 E-Strike Eagles. After the anti-air defense system were destroyed by these aircrafts, the U.S. Central Command brought out the Cold War-era massive B-52 strategic bombers operating directly over Iranian airspace, dropping heavy payloads on military complexes and IRGC command centers. Over 1,700 to 2,000 Iranian targets were struck in the first week of the operations. This is the ultimate insult in modern warfare, taking your enemy's most infamous weapon and firing it right back at them. For years, the Iranian Shahed kamikaze drone wreaked havoc. But when the US captured one, they didn't just study it, they cloned it. Stripped down and upgraded with American tech, the US built a mass-produced, expendable swarm drone. In a devastating twist of irony, they launched these one-way attack drones straight back into Iranian airspace. This is week 2 is about taking away the enemy's ability to hit back. First up is the Jashin. When this Iranian fast attack craft approached a US surface action group, it fired a US-made Harpoon missile, a remnant from pre-revolution armed sails. The US cruiser USS Wainwright successfully evaded it using electronic countermeasures and chaff. The US ships instantly returned fire, sinking the Jashin in what became the world's first ever missile duel between warships. Then came the Sahand. This Iranian frigate sailed out to challenge the US fleet and fired at passing aircraft. The response was immediate. Navy attack jets and the destroyer USS Joseph Strauss swarmed the vessel, pummeling the Sahand with missiles and heavy bombs until it caught fire and ultimately sank after its own munitions detonated. Later that same afternoon, a third ship, the Savalan, tried its luck. The frigate fired a surface-to-air missile at a US jet. The pilot simply dodged the missile, looped right back around, and dropped a 500-pound laser-guided bomb directly down the ship's exhaust stack. The internal explosion completely crippled the vessel. The overarching goal behind all of this was to secure the Strait of Hormuz, the single most critical choke point for global oil. Then comes the third week, launching $2 billion stealth bomber again to hit the underground nuclear programs. The problem is, these aren't just buildings you can level. They are heavily fortified subterranean labyrinths buried deep beneath solid rock. If you wait too long, the enemy moves their most critical assets, nuclear enrichment fuels, into impenetrable bunkers. So the military drops this specialized deep penetration munitions, massive bunker busters designed to slice through the earth and detonate inside the mountain. It's a surgical, violent procedure meant to collapse the underground networks entirely, setting the nuclear program back by decades. By week 4, you've achieved full air superiority. The massive bombing campaigns stop, and the hunting game begins. F-22 Raptors and F-15s take over, aggressively patrolling the entirety of Iranian airspace. They are kept continuously aloft by a steady rotation of flying tankers. It becomes a highly coordinated hunt. Targets are identified by Space Force satellites and Central Command, with the data fed straight to the fighters, usually directed by an E-2D Hawkeye command plane. The primary strategy here is to avoid a ground occupation entirely. Instead, the U.S. controls the battle space from above, striking from the air the absolute second a target exposes itself. They are specifically hunting for missile launchers, which are typically tucked away in hidden underground facilities. To keep the pressure on, MQ-9 Reaper drones patrol the skies 24/7. The moment the enemy rolls out a ballistic missile to attempt a launch, those Reapers are already waiting above, ready to wipe it out with Hellfire missiles. Even if you are bombarded with all kinds of spam emails, jump calls, and all kinds of online breaches with our financial data, this data doesn't just result in spam and scam attempts. It can also affect your insurance rates and ultimately will lead into a loan denial just when you might need credit. Incogni helps protect your privacy by regularly scanning and preventing data brokers from re-uploading your information. You'll also get a clear, real-time dashboard to track the status of your data. As an add-on with Incogni Unlimited plans, you can gain access to this custom removal tool. That's where Incogni comes in. Copy the link of any site exposing your information. Go to the custom removals tool, paste the link, and click submit. That's it. Then wait about 30 to 45 days, and just like that, your data is removed. So take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code AITELLY with the link below, incogni.com/AITELLY, and get 60% off on an annual plan. But the Iranians retain a critical strategic advantage. By utilizing the narrow geography of the Strait of Hormuz, they can still launch devastating close-range strikes against the U.S. Navy fleet. By waiting in ambush near expected carrier movements,